gently taking away one of Nox's arms. It was so smooth that he only felt the sensation after his arm was severed. Then Yoma gently picked up his head. From then on, he didn't speak another word, while a thick fog still lingered, and a voice somewhere announced the collapse of the barrier. The stands were silent, no one able to speak after witnessing the scene. When the dust settled, Yoma was sheathing his knife, and Nox collapsed on the ground. The moment the knife went into its sheath, a cold sensation ran down my spine. The select class students silently watched Yoma's small figure. You, who I always thought was weak, are unexpectedly strong. The subspace battle is over. Was this reaction natural? It's too late to turn back now. This is a knife for gutting fish. Cutting someone with it always gives me an indescribable discomfort. The only consolation now is that both Mao and Nox are still in the subspace feature. It was clear that Nox was trembling, the sensation from before deeply ingrained in every cell of his being. He's very strong, just as Chloe said. It feels like he has a lot of battle experience. However, if he shows off his strength like that, anyone would want to avoid him. I saw it all, but let's just consider it as good fortune. The victory goes to first-year Tiger class, Kong Yoma. The referee just announced it, but the audience is only now recovering, shouting, a first-year special student defeating a second-year. Wow, with this kind of publicity, they're advertising him everywhere. Oh well, there's nothing I can do now. This is the path I chose, so I have to risk it all. After that battle, everywhere I go, I hear people talking. That guy is from a dyer, right? Are you talking about yesterday's match? No wonder he was so strong. That's what I said, but how could someone that strong lose their gun? His name is Kong Yoma. Why do I hear his name everywhere now? It's unbelievable, but... From that time on. After that, I couldn't see clearly anymore. His swordsmanship is incredibly unbelievable. And he fought with 2 kitchen knives. Because I'm the Emperor's niece, when it comes to swords, I'm extremely confident. It's true that I'm not wise, but how can a knife be that strong? Hey there. But I'm quite curious, who defeated me to become the top student. If I meet him again, I'll definitely defeat him. Thinking back to the memories from the first few episodes, connecting the information, Abel gradually found the answer. I still don't know who this year's top student is. Could it be him? I was definitely angry at the time, but he was much stronger than me, even more so. Yoma, what was he thinking, daring to look at me like that? What was he thinking? What was he really thinking? Thinking about this, she excitedly slammed the table. Rachel, who was sleeping soundly beside her, was startled by the sound. What's wrong? Is there some hot gossip? Oh, sorry, there's nothing big. Really? Rachel looked at Abel curiously. Abel, flustered, said, I haven't been exercising for the past few days, so my head's a little fuzzy. What is this? What is this? You're clearly hiding something. Tell me. Are you hungry, or did you forget something somewhere? Are you always so obsessed with hygiene? I told you it's not that. Oh, you're thinking about boys. Abel reacted immediately, having been hit on the head. Rachel understood and became interested, while Abel's face turned red as a tomato. Really, Miss Abel also has a girlish heart. Don't tell me you don't know what love is. Abel, like a fluffy Siegfried cat, protested, it's really not. Oh, is that so? Who is that handsome guy? If he could steal Abel's heart, he's definitely not a fool. Let's see. Oh, it's Leon, right, he really is handsome. But seeing her cold expression, as if saying it wasn't like that, made her think again. She doesn't seem to like Leon, huh, so. The special student from yesterday, that black-haired guy again. Ah, Abel reacted honestly. Seeing this, the smile on Rachel's face gradually disappeared. Interesting, my batting average is pretty good today. I've been hitting them all. I'll. She grabbed Abel's hand and ran. Miss Abel, let's go. Abel, dumbfounded, asked, what, where are we going? We're going to the Tiger class. Rachel led Abel to the Tiger class. She kicked the door open, rushed in, and shouted, hello everyone in the Tiger class, may I borrow your classroom for a bit? The appearance of the 2 stars caused the whole class to fall silent in astonishment for a long time. The students started chattering excitedly. Rachel quickly glanced around the classroom, then went to a seat, standing proudly on a desk, hands on her hips. She shouted, "I'm looking for you, black-haired boy." "Well, where are you, black-haired boy?" A young man scratched his ear and said, "Hey, stepping on someone else's desk is pretty bad, no matter how you look at it." "I don't care, it's because I'm pretty." With a wink, the boy blushed. "You're right, she's really pretty." Abel sighed helplessly. "If there were a hole nearby, I'd jump in right now without any regrets for my friend." After searching for a while, she finally found her target. But Chloe was chattering beside him. She secretly wondered if she was his girlfriend. What's so important? That's a great way to do it. Rachel pulled C, presumably a shortened name for someone, and strode towards Yoma. Chloe was still giggling foolishly. As soon as she saw Rachel's figure, she stopped. Rachel leaned closer. Blow into Yoma's ear a ghostly breath. Abel and Chloe were stunned. Sitting on the desk right in front of Yoma. He dazedly raised his head, his sleepy face full of question marks, not understanding what was happening. Rachel swayed on the desk, trying to show off her perfect curves. She pretended to be surprised and looked at him. "Oh my God, you're awake." Yoma looked silently at the girl sitting on his desk. The more she spoke, the less he understood. "Your name is Kong Yoma, right? I met you at the gym yesterday, but I didn't recognize you." "Oh, this is Rachel. Why is she here? You look so handsome up close," especially when Rachel said that. "She reached out to touch you. Looks like danger is coming. My intuition tells me this is very dangerous." But then a murderous voice rang out. "Who are you?" As possible, but the eyes glow with a red light, as if wanting to devour the other person alive. Rachel didn't know what the other person meant. Annoyed, she pulled her hand away. Only then did Yoma understand his own unease. "Chloe, is this the danger he sensed? Is that the mode?" Her personality changed again. "What's going on over there? If there's a stabbing in school, I don't think the game would trigger this event. What's happening?" Before things escalated further, Abel quickly stepped in to separate the two. "Rachel, what are you doing in someone else's class? What's going on?" "Miss Abel, I just came to say hello." Is saying hello not allowed? She then looked at Yoma for a moment, then hopped down from the desk and patted Chloe's head. "Kid, you shouldn't interrupt when adults are talking, understand? And kids shouldn't play with dangerous things, got it?" But Chloe was no longer very human. The paper cutter in her hand was extended to its fullest length. Without a word, she decisively slashed at Yoma. Abel and Yoma were taken by surprise and couldn't intervene in time. Rachel also sensed something. Suddenly, a red liquid spilled. The two students looked at the spilled juice box. "You did that. Be more careful next time. But if you hadn't done that, ugh, never mind, just shut up." There wasn't any blood. Rachel caught Chloe's hand, causing the knife to fall. "It's too slow. I thought you were just a normal kid, but you're a petty little thing, aren't you?" The more she spoke, the tighter Rachel squeezed Chloe's wrist. Abel intervened. "Stop it, Rachel." Helplessly, she obeyed. With a light flick of her wrist, Chloe flew several meters away. Chloe doesn't fit either. She spun in the air and landed perfectly. When the boys in the class saw that, they lined up and exclaimed, telling themselves that Mom was really crazy. The Marat family, the saint of commerce, are known for their supreme power and the motto of facing overwhelming strength without needing any skills. Rachel Z. Marat is the granddaughter of the saint of commerce. "Is that girl your girlfriend?" Faced with Rachel's sudden question, Yoma immediately replied, "No." As soon as he finished speaking, he saw Chloe staring at him intently. He wondered why it felt so cold, but it was the truth, so he said, "Friend," his face slightly flustered as he looked at the scene before him. What the heck is going on? Looking closely, he realized Abel had been there the whole time. He hadn't noticed because he was preoccupied. "You two came looking for me. What's up?" "Miss Abel is interested in you, so I came to see what you're like." Abel retorted, "When was I ever like that? If not for that, why did you come here?" "Rachel, you forced me to come, and I thought Miss Abel wanted to come, so I obediently followed." Abel was speechless. The whole class watched with interest. No, I think you misunderstood. I never said I wanted to come here, Yoma said, exasperated, and yet you still followed. Yoma rubbed his temples. If there's nothing else, you two should go home. The two top students of the class were unexpectedly sent home, much to their surprise. You're interesting. I like funny men. Oh, that's lucky. I'm not funny at all. Not paying attention to Yoma, who was sweating profusely, Rachel hugged his hand and said this mysteriously, don't say anything. Do you want to watch Netflix Siegfried with me after school? This intimate act sent Chloe's anger over the edge. She yelled, stay away from my Yoma, immediately. Rachel tilted her head and muttered, my Yoma, then she laughed triumphantly. My Yoma, did you hear that, Miss Abel? My Yoma. Yoma sighed helplessly, this is ridiculous. Meanwhile, Abel was furious. She called out Rachel's name in a harsh voice. Rachel quickly stood up and said, it's a shame to meet you. I'm very happy to say hello to Yoma. I'll see you again soon. Don't come anymore, it's so insensitive. We're leaving. She narrowed her eyes as she watched the two leave. Get lost. Then he slumped onto his desk. Oh God, I'm so sleepy. Not knowing that, Abel then turned to look at him for a while. Those golden eyes were filled with light. Gazing at Yoma's figure for a while, although they didn't speak to each other, Abel felt something changing within her, but in the end, she turned and left. Their encounter ended like that. On the way back to class, we were both lost in thought. When I met Yoma, I didn't expect it to be that intense, even though his attitude was very cold. Deep within those dark eyes, I sensed something very vague. It felt like my throat was cut. It was truly terrifying. He was completely different from the silly classmates I met after entering school. I only intended to play around, but then I had this unexpected encounter. For generations, my saintly family has betrothed themselves to outstanding warriors. This means that he is the talent my family desires. Indeed, the inviolable queen is very interested in him. Miss Abel, I apologize, Abel. Muttering while holding her head, you should apologize to your classmates for what you did earlier, Rachel suddenly interrupted. No, not that. Abel looked a little surprised at his friend. Rachel stood in the hallway, excitedly declaring, Yoma, I won't yield. While the enduring friendship of the two girls was uncertain. Knox, on the other hand, was receiving in four drip, furiously cursing in his head. A body that has lived a lifetime without ever tasting defeat, the body of the genius, editor. Is there any difference at night? Should I suddenly attack him at night? But remembering those cold eyes made Knox shiver involuntarily. Too frustrated, he vented his anger on other patients. I have to mobilize the editor family's resources, only then can I behead that bastard. I must eliminate that bastard and bring Chloe back. Chloe's potential is even greater than mine. That's right, I must do it now. The power of my family and my top-notch nighttime skills will surely prevail. He was full of determination while thinking about it, but upon returning to his room, he was stunned to find Yoma calmly eating an apple. Sitting on a chair beside the hospital bed, he said, Oh, it's you. Chloe held a paper cutter, her eyes sharp enough to kill. Chloe held a paper cutter, her eyes sharp enough to kill. Yoma could only look on helplessly. She looked so angry, he thought, but she's the one who put the knife away first. Chloe gnawed on her nails while staring at the knife in her hand, so satisfying, she thought, Yoma too. A voice pulled her out of her tangled thoughts. Looking up, she saw it was Yoma. She greeted him brightly. Oh, Yoma, what's up? Yoma looked hesitantly at the knife in her hand. Chloe put down the knife. My mother opened her mouth to say how Knox is doing these days. At this point, she sighed. My brother is in the academy hospital. Why is he hospitalized? He wasn't injured during the battle in the subspace. Actually, I still don't know much about it. I only heard he was sent to the hospital, even though he didn't have any wounds, so everything will be all right. Yoma, don't worry, even though I cut him in half, he's probably not so weak mentally. Could that bastard be planning something else? Yoma smiled, stroking Chloe's head. Can you tell me Knox's room number? He asked, applying a newly learned method for dealing with Yandra's head patting. And then we have Nox freezing in front of my room like this, sweat pouring down his face, his mouth stiff, stammering incomprehensible words. Yoma took another bite of his apple. "Can I eat this?" he asked. Nox, confused, "You already ate it." "Editor must be rich, huh? A private room for one person, no kidding. How did you even get here?" Seeing Yoma silently reaching for a fruit knife, Nox panicked. "Is he here to finish me off?" Oh, but it turned out Yoma simply wanted to peel an apple. Seeing the neatly peeled apple, Nox was curious. How did he peel it so perfectly? After peeling the apple, he politely placed it on a plate. "If you're bored with rice, eat some fruit." Watching him leave like that, Nox felt a burning anger. This damned guy, daring to pity this body, "I'll eliminate you." At that moment, he stopped. "And if you're planning on revenge, then I'll destroy a dyer," he said that before leaving. Leaving Nox shocked and speechless. The apple he had just peeled on the plate now had cuts appearing. Revealing oddly symmetrical pieces, Nox collapsed to the floor in fear. Returning to his room. No matter what, the enemy's presence is like a match. His heart probably completely shattered. That's why my intimidation worked. Auditor is the world's only unparalleled assassin group. It's impossible to deal with all members in 30 seconds. If 10 people can resist in 30 seconds, anyway, that's the worst case scenario, so limit killing as much as possible. The night was peaceful. It felt like I was standing before a terrible storm. Have I mastered it yet? I wonder what will happen to my head. As for Nox, I can stop worrying about him. The problem is the person I least want to be involved with. Even in the game, his character approached the male lead first, but attacked later than the female lead, Abel. Alright, let's leave that for later. Now it's time to prepare for the midterm exam. The reward is quite big, so I need to seriously plan. Murasum, I need weapons to fight for more than 30 seconds. The exam content doesn't distinguish between classes. 5 people cooperate to subdue a monster. In team competitions, individual skills are important, but trust between teammates is even more crucial. Although the team members are quite unpleasant, if we cooperate well, then it's like us riding the same bus. And the monster we need to destroy in this test is the mermaid. I found it unpleasant in the game already. Having to fight it in real life, I feel like I'm about to throw up. Even though I've been catching fish all my life, if it were a mermaid, how wonderful, a D-rank mermaid, I won't have a nosebleed, will I? Thinking about it, the mermaid is the main character. The key character of the demon race. Compared to the powerful main character, Masu is just like a guard dog. Fortunately, my only goal is to conquer the merman monster. I don't need to deal with the main character. It's been more than a month since I came here and the night is truly peaceful. Peaceful. It's been 700 years since humans and demons signed a ceasefire treaty. Many large and small conflicts have occurred in this world, notably the Bassman incident. Half a century ago, they said they would revive the commander of the 1st Legion who was sealed. The commander of the 6th Legion crossed the boundary himself, shouting, "Stop, I'll bring him back." Humanity, who are known as the strongest of all heroes, belonging to the 7-Star Heroes organization, won after a week of bloody fighting. 3 people sacrificed their lives to save the others. Fortunately, no one wanted to cross that boundary again afterward. The strongest human being, yet this is just a commander of the 6th Army. How can that peace still continue until today? I wonder how long this peace will last. Come to think of it, Baller Joaquin, who sealed the commander of the 1st Legion, wasn't human. However, a war between demons and humans, including the Demon King, is coming. Only 3 years left. Worrying now is useless. I need to stay calm and focus on the midterm exam. It will be troublesome, but first, I need billions. I've lived too quietly. I don't have any friends. But when I think about it, I'm currently one of the most famous people in the academy. If I take advantage of this, will I make money? Anyway, I can't live in silence for the next 3 years. I have to join a good group and complete my midterm exams perfectly. Okay, I have to change my goal. It's been a week, really. No one invited me to join any group. This is serious. I'm the kind of person who lacks restraint. People are afraid of me. Why did you notice Chloe? She seems to be in a similar situation. Since that day, Chloe has also been ostracized quite a bit. Chloe, hey Yoma, no one invited you to a group yet. That's right, no one has. Are you okay? I didn't have any friends from the start anyway. I'm fine, if you don't mind. Then, you and I will be a group. We need to find 3 more people, Chloe replied brightly. Okay. Chloe is definitely the person I need. The goal is to capture as many mermen as possible within 1 hour. If I catch one in 30 seconds, I will get about 1,000. Chloe grinned and was so happy. Yoma suddenly laughed along in his heart and couldn't deny it, received so much happiness. But the peaceful moment didn't last long. From outside the door, someone shouted, Yoma, I'm here to play with you. Why are you here again? Oh, I'm just here to play. As soon as Rachel arrived, Chloe grabbed a paper cutter, muttering, here she comes, here she comes. To avoid trouble, Yoma quickly returned to his seat, trying to get rid of Rachel as quickly as possible. Go, I don't have time today, you're so heartless, Yoma. Hey, stop calling me Yoma, Rachel said, ignoring Yoma's disdain. I don't know, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything, she said, intentionally falling onto Yoma's desk. Oh yeah, how's Yoma's test going? He didn't even listen to me. He simply replied no. Rachel looked delighted. That's great, then, join my group. Then join. As always, Rachel sprawled on the desk, seductively beckoning Yoma. My group, she said, lifting his chin with her hand and adding a sweet gaze. Without hesitation, he brushed her hand away and asked indifferently, why me? You have plenty of people who want to be in your group. They're boring, she replied casually. I have a feeling something interesting will happen if you're in my group. Yoma had his own opinion. I promised Chloe I'd team up with her. The red-haired girl, who had been listening from afar, felt a pang of anxiety when her crush mentioned Chloe's name. Rachel confidently raised 2 fingers. It's fine, there are still 2 spots left. Leaning back in his chair, the boy pondered, at this rate, forget about the rewards and scores from hunting monsters with these people, I'll be exhausted. Meanwhile, she patiently watched Yoma, awaiting his answer. He glanced at Chloe, who was sitting behind him, and saw her nod in agreement. Yoma coolly replied, then, I'll rely on you. He took out his phone. Rachel was satisfied. Okay, once you're in, don't go back on your word. The young man was a bit curious as to who was the group leader. Leon, she casually replied while typing on her phone. The information surprised Yoma. He cursed inwardly, damn it. After Rachel left, he tremblingly placed his hands on the desk. What terrible sins did I commit in my past life? He gritted his teeth bitterly. For nearly 30 years, he only knew swords, the work. Let's say I'm prominent, so I'm unintentionally involved with these female leads. He thought about Abel and Rachel. He had gotten quite a view when he knew these people. But in the end, this happened. Leon, on the other hand, is the male protagonist of this game. The young man felt dazzled by the aura the main character radiated. In contrast to him, he himself is just a dark color, with a glimmer of light from his eyes and silver hair. I don't know what direction the story will take and, if anything, what responsibility it will take. Fall on me. I can't even change groups because of that witch, Rachel. Before she came to find me, she had already registered me for her group. He felt a little apprehensive thinking about the girl's manipulation. Angry, the boy gritted his teeth, trembling. I'd never wanted to kill a girl so much. Should I withdraw? From behind, the Yandere girl appeared, tilting her head with lustful eyes. Yoma, what's wrong? He froze and replied, ah. She feigned friendliness, with a smile on her lips. You look sad since that blonde girl left. Not daring to look back, he just looked down at the table and replied, it's just a little stressful being in a group with all the top students. Although she was a Yandere, she was naive and cheerfully encouraged him. No one in the top class is stronger than Yoma, I guarantee it. He felt a little relieved and turned to say, thank you. Chloe is also participating, and leading alone is irresponsible. Come to think of it, this lineup is full of great talent. Actually, this is a beneficial situation. Just think in a positive way, think optimistically. At this time, Yoma took the initiative to ask Chloe, "What time is the group meeting?" In the classroom, the girl replied, "That blonde girl said 6 o'clock at the cafe in the main building." The con guy thought to himself, "From now on, I'll call Rachel Blonde, comma. It's almost time, let's go." Chloe, with happiness clearly visible on her face, replied, "Yes." The scene shifts to the entrance of a relatively luxurious cafe. Placing the drink on the table, the red-haired girl smiled refreshingly, so good, while Yoma sat beside her with a regular cup of coffee, observing his friend's expression. Lifting the coffee to his lips, he felt a little sorry for such a strange green drink costing 50,000 VND. Prices are really going up. After a sip, the young man's face turned pale. He spat out the liquid, exclaiming, "Bitter." But seeing Chloe looking back, he quickly changed the subject. "Ah, this Starbucks, yours is good too, huh?" Trying to maintain his composure, Yoma, although finding it bitter, forced himself to endure, determined to uphold his mature demeanor. Looking at the coffee on the table, he couldn't help but sigh. Drinks under 20,000 VND, only espresso. Damn it, this is off campus, so I can't use my discount card. I probably won't come here often. Suddenly, his phone, with an anime girl as its wallpaper, vibrated, signaling a message. He held the iPhone 16 Pro Max in his hand and read Rachel's text messages to Yoma. He was nowhere to be seen. "I wasn't planning on coming for 5 minutes. I'm sorry I was a little late to drink Starbucks in the conference room because I had to clean up after the kids. There, I saw it." The outside door opened. The girl, carrying a drink, entered with the handsome Leon and a younger person. "Sorry, we're late." Seeing the two huddled together, she asked, "Did you two wait long?" Meanwhile, the two opposing extremes in these two people are directly encountered, the brilliance of the main character's aura and the dimness of a character who has fallen in love. Suddenly Yoma noticed a strange presence. A guy with high-tied orange hair was gently stretching. Seeing his stylish appearance, he judged, a player, huh? Leon approached, extending his hand to greet him. Yoma didn't refuse, shaking his hand and introducing himself, "I'm Kong Yoma. Your simulated space battle a few days ago was impressive. It's reassuring to have you in the team." The main character of the game began the conversation with a compliment, while the black-haired youth paid attention to every detail, his warm voice and composed demeanor, truly the main character he had once controlled. After the glasses of water were brought out, everyone sat down. Leon Van Reinhardt opened his mouth. "First, let's introduce ourselves." The blonde girl raised her hand in agreement. "I'll start. I'm Leon Van Reinhardt from the Stellar Mechanics class. I'll be the group leader. I still have many shortcomings, so I hope for everyone's help during this exam." Yoma, looking at Leon's splendor, felt a pang of envy. He's got the looks too. The main character is different. It's really unfair. Instead of continuing, Rachel gently nudged the orange-haired guy. "Everyone knows me, so I'll skip. Next." The boy crossed his arms and calmly introduced the Sweet Weapon Dragon class, which he likes heroes. This is proven by the words hero tattooed on the left side of his neck. The con guy continued his assessment with his own eyes. Following the circle, it was the red-haired girl's turn. She introduced herself timidly. "I'm Chloe Auditor, from the Dragon class." Before she finished, Rachel teased her by mentioning Yoma's name, causing the girl to momentarily glare with a rather unfriendly expression. Remembering she needed to hide her yander aside, she closed her eyes and continued, "I'm happy to be in this group. I look forward to working with everyone." The three people across the table nodded. Finally, it was our supporting character's turn. He nonchalantly introduced himself, "Kong Yoma, Dragon class, awkward." After the introductions, Leon searched his bag. "Okay, then." Taking out a laptop, he started working on it. "Let's begin the meeting." In the room, the device projected a fantasy model for everyone to observe. Only the black-haired youth felt surprised. Based on the map data, Leon spoke. "At lunchtime today, the homeroom teacher gave the group leaders a document. This is a map of Scopuli Island, where we'll have our exam. First, on the exam day, we'll be transported to this island through a spatial portal. However, only the portal is in a different space. The island itself is in the real world," he explained in detail. So you could be injured by magical beasts. Everyone, remember this. I'll zoom in for everyone to see. Leon continued to work on the laptop. The map showed several areas marked red with warning. This is the northeast coastal area assigned to us. There will be 3 teams hunting merfolk in this area. The key to this exam is which team kills more merfolk within the limit. The others observed and listened attentively. Closing the laptop, Leon ended his presentation. Does anyone have any questions? Swede Weapon was the first person. He raised his hand to speak on Scopuli Island was also. Is there any danger in the place where the mermaid appears? The teachers have already surveyed it in advance, so everyone can rest assured. Leon replied that it's Chloe's turn to ask me if there will be conflicts or fights between assigned groups. Same area. No, the target is fish-like monsters, Leon replied. The purpose of this test is to eliminate magical beasts, so students fighting each other may lead to elimination. Are you satisfied with the answer? Yoma looked at her friend in admiration, truly worthy of being from an assassin's family. After a while of discussion, voices filled the room. That's all for today, everyone. Prepare for the midterm exam. See you at the location assignment meeting tomorrow. Okay, Speed Weapon, let's go eat that thing. Don't rip your clothes now. Only Leon is left alone to pack up the equipment. The black-haired boy looked at the main character and thought, he's sitting in a hidden corner inside, so it's just the 2 of us facing each other. I'm so embarrassed. I'm getting out of here. Acting on his thoughts, he silently left. A sudden call made him turn around. Leon remained seated at the meeting table, as if he had something to share. Yoma, where are you from? It seemed like a normal question, but for a reincarnated person like the black-haired boy, it was a little sensitive. Yoma, where are you from? Leon looked up frankly and waited, while the con youth thought for a moment. What's this? I seem to have been asked this question before, but this time it's different. Where are you from? He found Leon a little hard to read. The blond boy revealed a deep, unpredictable look. This made Yoma a little flustered. I don't understand. Does he mean to ask about geography? No, if he were asking that, he would have asked during the introductions. He deliberately waited until everyone left to ask. There must be a reason, the boy recalled when everyone introduced themselves. After a moment of speculation, Yoma decided not to answer, avoiding that gaze that seemed to see right through his soul. Seeing this, Leon apologized. I'm sorry for asking something irrelevant. I thought you were like me, he said, his gaze still fixed on the man in front of him. Like me, what does that mean? A new question arose in Yoma's mind. Even though the common language of this game world is Korean, there's still national distinction. I'm clearly Korean. Just pretend you didn't hear anything. I'll go first. Leon stood up and left the room. Suddenly, a hand was placed on his shoulder. Preventing the boy from leaving, Yoma asked unexpectedly, Leon, where are you from? He himself didn't understand why he acted like that. Damn, I unconsciously held him back. If I let him go like that, I'll lose sleep because I'm upset, the black-haired boy thought while still holding him. Blonde boy. Turning around, Leon took Yoma's hand and slowly lowered it, replying with a gentle smile, I'm from Germany. After that, the main character truly left, leaving the room behind. Watching the figure disappear, Yoma couldn't help but be curious. What's with this guy? The spoon in his hand unconsciously fell to the table. Yoma still couldn't understand. Am I just overthinking things? At that moment, he couldn't help but think that the other person was also from another world, Yoma recalled, and it makes sense. There's no guarantee that only I'm transported into the game. Moreover, he's the main character, making the possibility higher than for a supporting character like me. Returning to his room, the black-haired boy, dressed simply, crossed his arms and pondered while having dinner. Looking at the blade on the table, he spoke aloud, under the influence of the sword god's grace, my senses have become extraordinarily sharp, but Leon is from this world. A terrifying feeling ran down his spine. It's happening again, like last time. When I activate and focus on the sword god's grace, I can hear vague voices. Yoma recalled the unpleasant experience of first holding a kitchen knife in the new world. He patted his head hard to wake himself up. His face became worse. The more he tried to think, the more his head hurt. Even infinite grace couldn't help it. In any case, the Leon I met today is the same Leon I controlled in the game. Even if they hired an actor, they couldn't act like that, or maybe he really only asked about nationality. The main character's mind was now filled with the image of the blonde-haired youth. But saying, "You're like me," means. Holding his phone, he tried searching for Leon von Reinhardt, but found no results. "This isn't looking good," Yoma regretted. "I wish I'd read the wiki. I didn't pay attention to the male characters. There's nothing about Leon in this world." Letting go, he stared blankly at the ceiling. "Forget it. I'll probably only meet Leon this once. If anything else happens, I'll ask the media for help." He recalled the 70-year-old woman in the body of a beautiful woman acting coquettishly. "You rarely visit me. When will we run away together? Can we do it now?" Yoma dismissed that idea. "Seriously, don't overthink it. It's strange. Even though I'm in an unexpected situation, I'm still calm. It must be thanks to the grace." Mention the word grace and a notice board appears right next to it. After observing for a while, he concluded, "It's developing favorably." Physical level, 57, sword range expanded. Mental level, 3, increased authority in speech and action. Weapon level, 1, unlocks not met. Synchronization, 2, 56, 6, 8%. The main character seriously assessed each detail of each stat. Mental and weapon levels remained the same, but physical level increased slightly thanks to diligent training. "I guess I need Neuramesa for the weapon level to increase." He thought of the sword as a reward for the challenge. What is synchronization? Only this is increasing rapidly, almost meeting the unlock condition. Synchronization, 2, 5, 6, 8%, reached 7%. Synchronization to meet the unlock condition, a cloaking effect. "I've only been playing with those two kids lately. Could there be a connection?" Yoma thought about the Aditor brothers. Checking his status, he continued. He didn't understand himself anymore and didn't know who to ask. A notification suddenly appeared that the minimum number of activations had been reached. The validity period had been adjusted. Yoma opened his eyes wide and continued reading. Painless Grace, duration increased from 30 to 40 seconds, cooldown, 12 hours. 40 seconds, really? He scrolled back and forth through the notification in astonishment. His hand rested on the knife on the table. He recalled the battles since his reincarnation. His efforts had finally paid off. The knife in Kang's hand, his joy was evident. Just like that, he was truly happy. Time flew by. 5 days before the exam, he was still diligently practicing one-handed push-ups. On Wednesday, the group continued to meet to discuss strategy. On Tuesday, Yoma and the younger Chloe practiced swordplay. Day 2, another meeting, but not a pleasant one for the red-haired girl whose crush was stolen by the blonde. The final day, Yoma braced himself, sword in hand, sweat dripping down. Instantly, he burst into action, cutting water drops in half with his ability to fly and tear through the wind. Seeing the result after a long period of arduous training, he smiled a gentle, contented smile. Today was the day they began the challenge. Everyone stood before the large, open gate. Wearing their school uniforms, Yoma observed, this was a spatial gate. Its mere presence altered the atmosphere of the school. A call from behind caught his attention. Rachel, Leon, Chloe, and Weapon had gathered. The blonde spoke first, always punctual, "And today you're late, main damage dealer, Kim Rachel." Group leader Leon also contributed. Sweet Weapon, as always, was maximally taciturn. Chloe, sub-damage dealer, felt happy seeing the main character's deadpan expression. "Good morning, Kang Yoma." Finally, rearguard member Kang Yoma apologized to me for being late. Despite having nothing himself, he was overwhelmed by everyone else's equipment. Rachel wielded an S-rank Fong Tianhua Ji. Looking at the man with the bun, a strange item around his neck made Yoma's eyes widen. A flute. The young man looked annoyed. "What's the problem?" Rachel came closer and whispered, "But that's one of the few S-level healing weapons. Is that true?" Even in the game, it's hard to get an S-rank healing weapon even if you spend tens of millions, but appearance is part of performance, right? Yoma didn't highly value speed weapons item. Ignoring him, he stared at the strange flute. The young man couldn't hide his displeasure and shooed him away. "Get out of the way." a loud announcement boomed towards Leon's team. Attention, the midterm exam for the first semester of 2024 officially begins. You all seem ready, the teacher observed. The rules have been thoroughly explained, so I'll keep it brief. If it's dangerous, retreat immediately. Remember, you're still students, not heroes. Lee Won-bin's responsible reminder. Don't risk your lives for points, and if you're injured or want to quit, contact your instructor immediately. Leon boosted everyone's spirits. It seems like it's time. Let's get ready, everyone. Don't be nervous, just do your best. Everyone seemed mentally prepared. Yoma was also resolute. Let's begin. Suddenly, the red-haired girl shyly approached Chloe. What's wrong? It's a little late, but I just remembered, Scopuli Island is where mermaids appear. She looked worried. Seeing that, Min immediately reassured the teachers that they had checked and it was okay. Don't worry about Chloe. Yes. Standing before the large gate, teacher Lee Won-bin and his colleagues announced, Now, let's enter the gate. The spatial gate is activated. Yoma gently patted the girl's head. Let's go, Chloe. Yes. She looked at the person in front of her, feeling reassured. That's right, don't worry, I trust him. They all slowly entered the gate. In the dark night, a voice rang out, Wake up, we are about to cross the boundary between life and death. Flo, I yearn for freedom. Yoma's voice. Okay, Chloe, who calls my name? Chloe. A loud scream opened her eyes. The girl holding her katana tightly suddenly looked forward. The black-haired boy trying to stay awake. Please help Chloe, wake up. I think I just fainted, the red-haired girl said, her eyes showing panic. In front of them, their teammates seemed to be facing something terrible. We can't contact the teacher. The signal is weak in this cave. What's happening? A deadly glare, a sinister smile on a beautiful yet repulsive face. Standing before Leon's group was a creature capable of manipulating water, its entire body emitting a dangerous purple glow, a mermaid.